Hey video, and welcome to the everyone. It's been a hard month. Not to fossilize this video in time, but we are now exiting the month of May 2023, and I don't know about you, but oh man, I hated that month so bad. Like usual, every day we had a new crazy thing that happened and more information online was thrown at us than ever necessary, and we had to process it to the best of our ability in order to move on with it. That's normal. But things were just off this month. I don't know, it was like tackling heavy questions wasn't fun, it was just heavy. And it was kind of like doing a keg stand of syrup. Usually I find this bearable because I have an iron optimism and I enjoy seeking combat in the nuanced Thunderdome. But May got me. So to cope, I retreated a little bit. I started working more on my side channels. I started streaming on Twitch. Right now I'm house sitting at my childhood home and it kind of feels like a vacation, like a wellness spa or a rehab. So as of right now, I'm doing pretty good. I am doing pretty good. Those are my affirmations. And I've learned that you can't just hide and bunker away from the news cycle because even though I wasn't seeking it out, I still heard about it anyway. It's inescapable. But just because it's inescapable doesn't mean it's non-digestible. The side channels and the Twitch streaming was fun, and I do still plan to work on those, but I can't let the YouTube discourse beat me. So to catch up, I thought today we could do a lightning round of all the stories in May that I probably would have made a video about if I wasn't so deflated. And of course, we're gonna do it in the healthiest way we know how, with nuance. And alcohol. I'm kidding, this is a San Pellegrino. Cut that joke. And so, in no particular order, the nightmares of May. Oh good, we're starting with an easy one. The iDubbz apology. Back in 2016, YouTube was a lot different. The quickest way to become popular was to make fun of people. And there were a few big channels that made fun of people. And there were a lot of people who would clout bait those big channels and then they would become big from the exposure. You have the popular, edgy YouTube channels that are making fun of everybody, but iDubbz was an edgy YouTube channel that was making fun of the other YouTube channels. And the problem with having an audience who likes edge is that if someone's making fun of your guy, you're probably gonna go on his side. iDubbz, or Ian is his real name, he wasn't any better than these bullying channels. Like, he still said slurs he shouldn't have. He still made fun of kids sometimes. A lot of irredeemable YouTube 2016 stuff. Racism, sexism, homophobia, gross out content, the works. Flash forwarding to now, he seems completely reformed. He's making charity events with Creator Clash, and he and his partner seem to be making a lot of healthy steps, but that was all assumed. iDubbz actually sat down and addressed it in this video. It is an interesting video. It's the best apology video on YouTube. I would check it out if this is interesting to you. And again, I'm not forgiving him because it's not my place, but the fact that he's making steps in a positive direction seems good to me. In this house, we support healing. I'm house sitting. I'm going to be in a different house later. This one is kind of a two-parter because it leads us to Moist Critical's reaction to the iDubbz apology. Moist Critical, or Charlie, he's the opinion guy. He's the video review, white shirt, long hair. You've seen him. He uploads like 100 videos a week. That's incredible to me. The interesting part is that he disagreed pretty strongly against iDubbz and said that content creators should not be responsible for their fans' behavior. The point of Ian's apology video was to acknowledge all of the bad things he had done and acknowledge the entire generation of people watching him who grew up to act like that. And I do think he feels pretty guilty about that. Charlie also said that one person could not lead to this much damage and that it wasn't Ian's responsibility. I disagree with Charlie. It's not like these kids were only watching iDubbz. The algorithm would then send them on to similar content where they'd begin shaping their personality. This isn't even alcohol. So I don't think Charlie is right in assuming that Ian means he's the one person who caused all of this. And as far as influencing people, he's an influencer. I believe he influenced people to behave like he did. So that started up a whole discourse on Twitter. That was my take, but people talked about that for a while. And then they moved on because that's what we do here. What else we got? Andrew Tate's waifu era. A horrible sentence. Andrew Tate, the well-known alleged sex trafficker hustler, is making his internet personality around liking anime women more than real women. I don't recommend you search this guy's backlog, but it's just him saying, real women? No. Hot girls? No. I want the anime kind.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, that's you never seen it.
No.
Men like you, anyone has seen this? A few people? Very few. Very few. It's called the new low voice dance. You might be low voice. So dance exactly like this.
Oh.
This is just an interesting one. It's not one you would expect. And of course, it's just a ploy to get attention. You see an Andrew Tate photo with an anime girl in it, and you kind of go like, what the f-? But really, anyway, it was just a ploy for attention. And it worked because here I am talking about it. But it's so stupid, I don't think I changed any of your minds about Andrew Tate. What else we got? Taylor Swift. Okay. There's a lot there. First of all, gotta clarify, I am an ally to the Swifties. I don't hate Taylor Swift. I think she makes good music. And look what you made me do. I say this because Taylor Swift has an entire history online of people being needlessly cruel to her and her relationships that, I don't know, it seems like you kind of have to say what your stance is before talking about any kind of opinions on her. That and her fan base will kill you. My partner is a Swiftie. I've passed the test. The version of the story I can glean is Taylor Swift was in a really good relationship for a long time and then suddenly broke it off. And then she was seen around Maddie Healy from the band 19 Two Numbers. Maddie Healy's kind of reception online is that he's a charming asshole. Like, he's rude to people, but we keep him around anyway. So the big rumor of, are they dating, exploded online. And I don't like that Taylor Swift is defined by all of her relationships. I think that's kind of stupid. Maddie Healy also made insensitive comments towards the artist Ice Spice, who Taylor collabed with. So it's a whole weird thing that obviously makes sense behind the scenes, but the fans know nothing, and so they're just dumping puzzle pieces together. But I am very uneducated on the subject, and I do not want to say anything incorrect.
Like what Maddie Healy says, and they're seen kissing in public, so like, you know, it's a fling. And now there are rumors that they might have broke up.
But I am very uneducated on the subject. Ooh, okay, this one I do know. The writer's strike. I support the Writers Guild. I don't know why writers aren't paid enough. Writers are the reason any show is good. F*** the studios for not wanting to pay them. I made a video on it. That's it. The part that's new is that there are a lot of movie studios that loudly announced that they will continue production without the writers. So we have a few pieces of media that when they come out will look for unwoven writing and see if you can tell that writers weren't present. You will be able to tell. These are in danger. And they're all very high budget, like expensive IP. Like, I don't know why they think they can cruise through this without writers. There's a lot at stake for a lot of people. And I will be watching. The slow integration of AI into our normal lives without us even really noticing it. Like, it's on Snapchat now. It's in a Grammarly ad I saw, a phone app I use to edit photos, like told me, hey, we use like AI now to enhance your photos. Do you want to try it out? And I was like, fuck you. Because everyone is talking about AI and it's suddenly available, or at least the early versions of it is, every business is trying to integrate it because they want to keep up with the trends. This is a trend I think not worth keeping up with, but whatever. I think there is a humane way to use AI. I don't see any way how that can be achieved through having it in Snapchat. So it's usually not a good sign. Okay, drink refill. Okay, this is another one that I am not super well versed on. Like, I know everyone involved very vaguely. It's about Aiden Ross and iShowSpeed. They are false copyright claiming any video that shows them for even a frame. The big example being used is, oh hi. Longtime viewers will recognize Cinnamon. She's very old. She does not meow anymore. She just grumbles. And she's my best friend. I love her. Sometimes I do like the voice thing with aioli. You will not hear that with Cinnamon. She is pretty quiet. The big example being used is that Hassan Piker uploaded a debate that took place in a Zoom call, and Aiden Ross was in the corner of the Zoom call, and so he copyright claimed it just for being in it. And on YouTube, copyright claiming people's stuff is always kind of a sensitive topic because it's money, people's income are on the line. But really, it's an issue about fair use. Fair use meaning I could make a video on someone and that person could not sue me in response because of transformative content. Like, yes, their work is in mine, but I've turned it into something else. Aiden Ross and iShowSpeed are streamers who I believe are both banned from Twitch because of their antics. Anyway, they are two people who are very full of themselves, so it's not surprising that they're going to copyright claim any video that they're in. The bad news is that if this becomes a legal issue, everyone on YouTube is going to be affected. If this goes to like court of any kind and it becomes set that you cannot use other people's content in yours, then a lot of commentary jobs are gone. A lot of video gameplay is gone. It's just going to be people filming themselves in a room. And then if your mom walks in, your mom can sue you. So a lot of jobs, including mine, are at stake because of these two people. This is my dream job, and it is in jeopardy from the dude who sniffed Andrew Tate's chair after he got up. What else we got? Billie Eilish. This one hurts a little because I talked about it 2 years ago and the problem is still there. Billie Eilish, a pop star. Oh, bye Cinnamon. She's not a fan, I guess. Billie Eilish is an artist who, when she was rising, her fashion was kind of definitive because it was a lot of baggy clothing and like what you would not expect a female pop star to wear. People were like, oh, is she hiding her body? Like, what's down there? Her reasoning for it was because she didn't want to be defined by her looks. So she wore the baggy clothes to just be Billie Eilish, which I think is really smart. It did not work. The current issue is that Billie has started to wear more feminine presenting clothes, showing off her body, and men and women are slut-shaming her for it, which is exactly the thing she was trying to prevent. It's a really classic case of the internet being like, just be yourself, open up to us. We want to be your fans. And then you do it and they're like, oh, never mind. You're a woman. So Billie Eilish is in a fashion-based damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. It's important because it's important to her. And there's a lot of people who could be affected or influenced by this story. And overall, it makes me sad. Very, very sad. What else we got? Okay, Jonathan Majors being arrested. I do plan on making a solo video about this, but Jonathan Majors is an actor. So Marvel, you've heard of Marvel. They bet big on Jonathan Majors, and they cast him as Kang, who is a time traveler. And there's like a multiverse of Kangs, and Jonathan Majors plays all of them. So it's a pretty big role. And the actor is arrested for domestic abuse. And Marvel's on a complete lockdown on this. We don't know what they're thinking. I just think it's really interesting that a multi-billion-dollar franchise is resting in the hands of a potential domestic abuser. What else we got? Okay, we're going to pop out and do some honorable mentions. I probably wasn't going to make videos about these, but they're pretty big. The D&D movie came out, and I loved it. Like, this movie is amazing, and didn't perform well because the marketing was bad, but please, watch this movie. It's my favorite movie. Then there was the Succession finale. It's an incredibly written show. It's not everyone's thing, but I'm not going to spoil it, but the TV show about boardroom meetings ends in one hell of a boardroom meeting. Twitter exploded. Okay, we're going back into things that I could have made videos about, but I didn't because I was sad and unmotivated this summer. You heard the intro. Did I say summer instead of May? That's not good. Okay, this one is so interesting. A Twitter user under the name Bigolas, what is it? A Twitter user by the name of Bigolas Dickolas wrote a very glowing review of a book, and then the tweet took off, and so everyone went and bought the book. The book sold out, and it became like on the top 30 most sold. Like, it became a bestseller because one person tweeted about it. And I think that's really interesting because anyone in the marketing agency would die for that. And Bigolas Dickolas did it on accident. I just find it fascinating that, like, one tweet from one person could affect so many people. And I'm also really mad that the book is sold out because now I want to read it. Like, what's the hype about? I want to read it now. Oh, okay. Mr. Beast. Okay, we have to have our monthly Mr. Beast discourse. Mr. Beast made a challenge video with contestants aged 1 to 100. And it brought up a lot of people's concern with consent and child neglect and senior citizen abuse and just how much people need money and how little Jimmy seemed to care. It's part of the whole discourse cloud that follows him. It's impossible to get through. It's just, no matter how hard you try to think through it, it's just gonna hurt your brain. Okay, this one I just heard about and I don't know much. It's the Illuminati controversy. Not the one you're thinking of. A YouTuber named Illuminati apparently had a video that was edited very similarly to another person's video, and there was a call out of plagiarism, and it started to rise towards legal action. And then they seemed to call it off and find the ground, but then it only just brought up more accusations against Illuminati. And so, I don't know. There's a lot of videos about it. I suggest you watch those if you want to learn more. But I just saw that was a thing that was happening, and that I'd look into it later, and I never did. Plagiarism is bad. Your work will be good if it's your own. Yeah. What else we got? The Flash. For some reason, the Flash movie is still coming out, even though Ezra Miller is in it. they have done enough things to get anyone fired or kicked off from a movie multiple times, and they're keeping them, which is just fascinating and confusing. Let me find the exact quote here. Audiences will forget about Ezra's crimes. Like, it's The Flash. They'll forget. All I can really say about it is just, yar har, the film. Like, I, the film, pirate the movie. Okay, I am reaching my limit, so we're going to end on a high note. This is the big one I've been waiting for. I believe that this is the most important and groundbreaking event of May 23, and it wins by a lot. And it is that we fought through it and survived it. Yeah, it's going to get sappy. You can't leave. There's a protection spell around the video. You got to hear me be sappy. Damn it. The world is becoming harder and harder to survive in and stay composed. Like, yes, everything we talked about was like social media stuff, but like big important things are also happening. Wars are still happening. Wealth inequality, rent is way too high. The summer heat is going to be unbearable, and there's going to be more mass layoffs because of AI. And goddamn, it's Pride Month. It's Pride Month, and people are too scared to celebrate because they're afraid of the retaliation. And let's be real, violent retaliations, just because of the tone that's been set. It's horrible. You might say then, like, oh, why mention all that other previous stuff? And it's because we're being fed that digital content to keep us numb to all of the stuff that's happening. Like, whether we like it or not, we're being affected by the media we consume. And yet, despite all of that shit happening, you fought and got through another month of it. If you're hearing my voice right now, it means you pushed through and made it past May of 2023. I wish I could give you like a badge for that, because damn. Maybe you didn't have to deal with any of the issues I listed, but life is hard to exist in normally. I don't think I know anyone in my life who's operating at 100% right now. We're all struggling, but we're still crossing the finish line of the month anyway. Just by being here, you, in this moment, whether it's through endurance, hope, or spite, any of it, doesn't matter. That means that you're still putting up a fight, whether you're conscious of it or not, and you're going to keep going even if you take a few falls along the way. And you must never stop failing, because the minute you do, you've failed. If you quit now, that's set in stone. That's a quote from one of my favorite movies, Dungeons and Dragons. I promise you the cheesy ending is almost over. I want to remind you to acknowledge what you're going through while you're going through it. If you look back at my channel, you'll see that I only made one video during all of May, and it is not my strongest. Personally, May dealt me here we go. Personally, May dealt me a lot. There were health issues, dealing with stress, isolation, and a drought of motivation. I would immediately become exhausted when a weird occurrence would happen, like housing a lost dog, or our apartment door handle not working. We gotta take inventory of... I know this is shooting myself in the commentary foot right now, but we gotta take inventory of what's going on in our real lives before we do any of it on the internet or in the news. Because the news doesn't matter if you're not okay. Whatever it was with May, maybe it was just like a weird funk I was in, or something more serious developing, who knows. I just know that there's no way I was the only person struggling through May. And there were a lot of people out there struggling with me, even if we didn't know each other. Maybe they were even some of you. And boy, that was a hard month for me. And here I am. I passed all those challenges. And you know what? Maybe June will be worse. Doesn't matter. I'm going to pass those challenges too. What is a month anyway? Like, people were just making the calendar like 30, stop, 30, stop. I didn't mean for this to become a motivational speech. I just know that sometimes you need a reminder to acknowledge what you've personally surmounted. And I hope that's the mindset, the conscious, healthy mindset that we can use to apply to anything, including these internet discourse stories. It's the point of my channel, I think. So from me to you, keep fighting, stay mindful, and be kind to others. And happy Pride. And fuck May. Watch this movie. Follow my Twitch. Slay on, Queen. Good night. Thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it. We got a special guest appearance. This video meant a lot to me, and even just making it kind of goes a long way. So if you made it this far and are hearing my voice, I do really appreciate you. Self-promo, my Instagram, my Twitter, follow me on Twitch. That's the new thing. I'm trying to detox all this serious YouTube stuff with some fun Twitch antics. We've already invented a religion on there, so come join us. To be honest, I am a little concerned about making it through the summer, but I have to follow my own words in the video. Like, I'm gonna empower through those challenges. An incredible thank you to the patrons for supporting me and whatever I'm doing. Is that a separate hair or is that one hair? Do you guys see that? Is this normal? This feels like bad. Anyway, I'm going to get better at upload timing. You will see me soon. I promise. No more 2-week breaks, because I'm sick of it and my managers are probably sick of it too. All right, let's... Almost fell. You know what I'm trying to say. Just be kind to yourself and others. Have a good week. I love you lots. And goodbye.